time to where, I mean, enough is enough, because the first issue and the first problem comes from us needing that validation from people, us needing that validation from man, right? But who are they? Like, who are they? We be showing up in the world, we do everything that somebody else want us to do, and we just kind of go with the flow type of person, because guess why? Because we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. They don't know who we are, so they're going to put the identity on us, and we're going to show up exactly how they want us to show up. And that's not good. That's a dangerous place to be when somebody else could tell you who you are. So how do we step out of the phase of putting, everyone else above us, for people to put the identity on us, for us to get over what happened in the past, for us to get over, being somebody that we really are not? How do we get over that? Because it starts with, going in the direction of loving yourself, right? So this go back to our topic, the self-love. So we have to get back to how God wanted it to be in the beginning. Like he never intended for none of this to happen, but it happened. So how do we get back to it? I mean, and I'm gonna tell y'all this story, because it's just like, looking back, it's just like, wow. But I can remember, messing with my oldest daughter dad, right? And I was just so head over heels in love with this man. Like, to the point where I allowed so much I allowed so much from him. I allowed this man to call me bees. Like, and thought it was cool. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just feeling like, oh, because he loved me. So he called me out my name. Not because of my self-esteem was so low and I didn't love myself. I felt as if this was the right thing to do. Oh, he loves me because he called me his B. He, you know what I'm saying?
Acknowledgement.
Yeah. And it's just so weird, because I can remember, even as a little girl up in my own household, getting called B. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe this is how people show their love, right? By cussing. So, or calling you names. And then back then I wasn't looking at it as it was a name calling. I'm looking at it as if this was something somebody called you that loved you, right? Because everybody that was loving me was calling me it. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe. But I got around this one particular friend, and she was like, why do you allow him to call you that? And I'm like, what you mean? And she like, that's not okay, Santana. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you allow him to do that? And like, it changed my perspective, because I'm like, and this was my reality though, y'all. Like, I really felt like it was nothing wrong with it. And when till she told me that it was something wrong with it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we don't even know that there was a problem until somebody identified that it's a problem. Why? Because we're so used to the comfortability that we're in at that particular moment. And although that knowing it, not knowing that it's not right, because again, we going with the flow. We trapped into where our area has put on us, right? So we don't know. We don't know. And she made me really reevaluate myself that day. And I'm like, why did she? Because I was always a person that I don't try to fight people for constructive criticism. Like, I always took heed into whatever somebody told me. Like, I mean, it may took me a minute to change it, but I'm gonna always take heed to what somebody told me, especially if it's right. So I was like, well, dang. I mean, like, I literally slept on it and everything. Like, why did she say that to me? And still clueless. Like, why did she even say that to me? So I'm, like, letting it manifest in. And then I'm got the noticing, like, this man is disrespecting me. And out of all this time, I didn't even realize that he was disrespecting me. I'm feeling like that I'm loved. I'm feeling like that I was, I'm that You know what I'm saying? Because this is what he's calling me. So I'm feeling like that I'm that one or whatever. Let me see what Regina said. I'm sorry, y'all don't got no laptop, so I gotta go on my phone. I mean, I got it, but I don't be on Zoom on it. It sounds like
I think sometimes too, Santana, it could be that we just get immune to the dysfunction and
yeah,
the
that
complaciveness. And sometimes when we don't feel like moving and ain't ready to make certain moves, we do tolerate, deal with, make excuses for, justify, come up with all kind of reasons why it's cool out, and stuff. And to the
yep,
dysfunction. 'Cause some people's dysfunction is their norm. Like really,
right, right.
you start telling them about like what your friend was saying to you. If you tell some people that these days, they actually think there's something wrong with you.
With you, right, right. And,
Because
and
this is
it's
their
crazy
norm.
because I almost thought that something was wrong with her, honestly. And this
Yeah.
me
Look,
at you
that's
know what
what
I'm saying,
Regina just
18,
said.
19 years old. And
She
I
put,
and I thought that it was something wrong with her. Like, what she mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm
you
that
love
bottom,
me.
I'm that go
Yeah,
get, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's our mind frame.
yeah.
Hold on, y'all. I'm a read Regina comment. So she said, it sounds like a cliche, but it is so real that we have to intentionally choose to put ourselves in spaces that call out lies and who remind us of who God called us to be. We listening regardless. So we have to make the decision to constantly and consistently change what we listen to. Choose to listen to the truth, even when it hurts. It really takes one time to taste and see our worth, and from then you become curious and things start to shift. But you have to have a village around you on the path too. We are used to dysfunctionally functioning. Oh, girl.
Oh, girl, preach.
You just said a whole word.
Amen.
Preach.
That's so true. We are used to that. And we
Yeah.
really feel like that is the way that we're supposed to live. It hurts my heart to this day to see, young women or old women, because they're not all young. It's old women too that still is living in dysfunction and feeling like that is their normal. And it just
Can I
hurts
just
me.
interject something really quick, Santana? It's a
Mhm.
lot going on there. It's that, but it's also when you're dealing with self-esteem issues, when you're
That.
dealing with abandonment of not wanting to be alone,
Mhm.
title, appearances of how it looks to people that you got a man or whatever your
Mhm.
point is or what have you. So it's a lot of stuff that be going on with that
Oh
dysfunction.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.